Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 9:15 p.m. Mountain, 10:15 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at a destructive severe thunderstorm that is currently producing hail up to baseball size and 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. If you are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, take cover now. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, as these life-threatening conditions are currently impacting areas like Yuma, Colorado. We have had some absolutely gorilla-sized hail falling here over the past few hours near Yuma. If we kind of take it back a few scans, we can see that this has been going on for so long, right? We take it back even like 50 scans, and we're talking still very large hail falling near Otis, and this hailstorm just does not want to die out, all right? We were talking about 79 dBz values at times that went right through Yuma, Colorado, all right? And it is still ongoing now to areas to the northeast of Yuma, all right? We also have 60 to 70 mile per hour damaging wind gusts occurring with this storm, and we did just actually receive a new tornado warning. That is a new tornado warning now. That is for the cities of Anton and Linden, Colorado. Take cover now. That's for Washington County. This is for a rotating supercell capable of producing a tornado. Currently, your rotation is everywhere in there, kind of off to the northeast of Linden, okay? So take cover now once again in that warning. But again, our main focus is going to be our destructive severe thunderstorm warning over here towards the Eckley area, as once again, this storm is producing gorilla hail and damaging wind gusts of 70 to 80 miles per hour. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Mower County, Minnesota. That's for a storm that is currently producing ping pong bowl sized hail. So if you're in Austin, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. We do have a tornado watch in effect for portions of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas, and this is not an ordinary tornado watch, right? This is a pretty high-end tornado watch, actually. So let me go ahead and try to pull up the details for that really quickly. But while we're waiting, make sure to click that like and subscribe button, as we are going to be live here for a while tracking this severe weather all the way through. So give me just a second here. Let's see. Trying to pull up the details for that tornado watch. For some reason, it was never posted on the National Weather Service X page, though, so I'm just going to have to pull it up from the NOAA website here. So let me go ahead and bring that up for you. Okay, so as you can see on your screen now, you can see that the primary threats with this tornado watch include a few tornadoes likely with a couple intense tornadoes possible, scattered damaging winds and isolated significant gusts to 80 miles per hour likely, and scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events to 3 inches in diameter likely. So again, very high-end tornado watch here. The threat for tornadoes is moderate. The threat for strong tornadoes is moderate. The threat for damaging winds is high. The threat for destructive winds is high. The threat for large hail is high. And the threat for very large hail is high. Okay, so again, very high-end tornado watch that we do have an effect here, once again, for portions of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas here. Most of our action has remained in parts of northeastern Colorado all evening. All right, if you did tune into the last live stream, you'll know that we were tracking almost these exact same supercells, actually. By the way, we did just receive a new severe thunderstorm warning for Woodbury and Ida counties, Iowa, and Dakota County, Nebraska. That's for the threat of half-dollar sized hail and 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. If you are in that area, make sure to move indoors and away from windows immediately. But yeah, these supercells here that are currently getting tornado warned, destructive severe thunderstorm warned, and even flash flood warned are the same exact supercells that we were tracking hours ago that were ripping across parts of northeastern Colorado, and they are still going here with, once again, very large hail, potentially up to baseball size, and also quite a few strong tornadoes possible in this area, okay? So again, we'll have to watch this event here over the next few hours. If you do have any questions about your location, feel free to leave those down below in chat, and I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly. And actually, at the 8 p.m. SPC Outlook update, we did actually receive a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes, okay? Now, it's not common that they add a 10% hatch risk that A, is this tiny, and B, that they add in this late at night. That is because all of a sudden they have a very increased confidence that we are going to have the threat for a strong tornado or two in this specific area, right? Areas like McCook, Nebraska, Ray, Colorado. You guys need to be on high alert over the next few hours, all right? Again, you have a tornado watch until, let's see here, that would be about 3 a.m. Central Time, 2 a.m. Mountain, 4 a.m. Mountain. 2 a.m. Mountain. I can't think. 2 a.m. Mountain. And again, the threat for a strong tornado is definitely there for areas like McCook and Ray. Okay, now, again, this is a very tiny 10% hatch risk for a tornado. It's a very localized threat, but the threat is there nonetheless. So areas like Benkelman, St. Francis, Bird City, Ray, Atwood, Culbertson, McCook, and Oberlin. The threat is so concerning here that the Storm Prediction Center added a new risk for a tornado here that's this tiny at the 8 p.m. update. So we are starting to get some supercells roll into that area there. As you can see, Ray, Colorado is under a flash flood warning because they've just been getting hit over and over again by these intense storms. And whenever these supercells tap into this environment, that's whenever we're likely, again, going to have that extremely high, strong tornado threat, at least for 1 or 2 spots. So that's where we're going to be watching for the biggest tornado threat, once again, here over the next few hours, throughout pretty much the rest of the night. So again, areas like Benkelman, McCook, Ray, St. Francis, Atwood, Oberlin, you guys need to be looking out. Now, we do have a secondary mode of storms up here across parts of the Midwest, parts of Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota do have a severe thunderstorm watch. In fact, these are mainly just going to be threats for damaging winds and large hail, though. We did actually have a tornado on stream earlier near Grand Island, but I did not point it out because I did not realize it was on the ground because the National Weather Service never updated the tornado warning. But we did have a brief tornado touchdown near Grand Island, Nebraska, and apparently just before that stream as well, there was a tornado near Rochester where we had the warning, but I didn't realize that previously that warning was observed. So we have had 2 tornadoes today, both within the past few hours. Yes, this late, really. We are going live this late because we have a serious, once again, strong tornado potential here for parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado here over the next few hours. Again, if you're just now tuning in, they have added the 10% tornado risk and the 10% hatch tornado risk for parts of Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. Areas like Ray, Colorado, and McCook, Nebraska are included in that, so the threat for a strong tornado is there over the next few hours. And again, we have a high-end tornado watch to go along with that, and again, we also have the 30% hatch risk for damaging winds and the 30% hatch risk for large hail here, so again, we do have a destructive storm currently producing hail up to baseball size near Eckley, alright? This has been producing baseball-size hail for, guys, like, well over an hour. It's just ridiculous. And then, again, we also have this tornado-warned storm here near Anton that's actually starting to rotate pretty well here, but unfortunately, we're in a pretty messy correlation coefficient zone, so we're not going to be able to see if there's a debris signature here or not, but we can definitely see some sort of hook shape trying to form there, and then also, once again, we do have a little bit of a velocity couplet there off to the southwest of Anton, or just to the straight west of Anton, really. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. So, again, we have a tornado warning in effect here. This is for parts of northeastern Colorado. Areas like Linden and Anton along Highway 36 are included in that, so make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately in this area once again if you have not already. Waiting for this next velocity update here to see what this supercell does. In addition to a possible tornado, this storm is also going to be producing lime-sized hail. Potentially. So, again, make sure you are taking shelter here. Again, this continues to rotate as it approaches Anton. Again, Anton, you got to get to your safe place right now. You got minutes until this reaches you. This storm is currently moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour, so let's kind of drag this out and talk about some of the specific areas that could be impacted by this dangerous storm here. So, let's go and drag it out to here, and again, east at 25 miles per hour, so we see that in about 7 minutes, Anton will be under this. Eric Harry, you got about 26 minutes, Willadell, 33 minutes, Cope, 54 minutes, Joe's, 76 minutes, and Kirk in 88 minutes. Now, this is a very rural area here along Highway 36. I'm never usually up this late streaming. Yeah, I am tonight because, again, we've got a very high-end threat here for severe weather. We got a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. We got a tornado warning, so I figured conditions did warrant for me to go live here. Again, this is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Eckley. And then, again, a tornado warning back here closer to Anton. So make sure, again, that you are seeking shelter immediately in that area. Let's see here. I think, really, we're probably just going to stick to this mode of storms for the most part because it is by far the most concerning. Again, bringing the threat currently for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, hail up to baseball size, and a few tornadoes. Again, it's really isolated down to this little spot right now in northeastern Colorado. You know, where we're getting the baseball hailers and the 75 mile per hour winds now reported as of 10 minutes ago. So we could even have destructive winds up to 80 miles per hour associated with this storm. We really could. So again, you really need to be taking shelter here, underground, away from windows, interior room. If you're in a mobile home, you got to evacuate. We still got all of our storm chasers out here. We got Brad Arnold, we got Connor Croft, and we even have John Flanagan on this storm here. And then we also have storm chasers Brandon Kopic and Willard Sharp up to the north of there. So, again, this is a tornado warning here for parts of northeast Colorado. Very impressive velocity couplet there once again. Heading for the Anson area. Again, this is a rotating supercell capable of producing a tornado if it is not already, so take shelter now. So back over here to our destructive severe thunderstorm warning for the Eckley area. We do have a little bit of rotation with this storm, but it's not enough to produce a tornado. It does have the tornado possible tag, though, because enough rotation could spin up to produce a tornado here over the next several minutes. We do have some lingering strong to severe storms out here in Michigan, actually, and pretty much across the entirety of the Midwest, really. I know we have some stronger storms here in parts of Illinois and Indiana, doing a little bit of flash flooding there in northwest Indiana, and then obviously we've also got our other mode of storms here that's, still pretty intense in the western Midwest. We got this storm here near Vermilion that has a hail core that is very intense. We even got a little bit of a hail spike associated with this storm. So it is currently warned for ping pong ball sized hail. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. This storm is also bringing the threat for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. We could bring up some cyclone ports here, but there's really no good ones in the area, really. Yeah, I mean, there's really none at all, actually. I don't think we are going to bring up any cyclone ports. We don't really have any up here into, Nebraska, Colorado. Unfortunately. So we're going to have to just stick to the storm chasers. Did just get a new special weather statement there. That's for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail for the Taylor and DeVere area. I mean, to me, this looks like a severe thunderstorm. I really think this should receive a severe thunderstorm warning for areas along Highway 183 here. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Very intense storm there. Why streaming at 10? Because we have some intense weather going on. We have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. We have a tornado warning. We have a 10% hatch tornado risk. We got a high-end tornado watch. All these conditions are just kind of in place to warrant a live stream here. I know that, this is not my normal time for streaming, but conditions have warranted a live stream. So because of that, we're here covering severe weather for everybody. Again, this storm has a pretty good amount of inflow here near Anson. It has a pretty impressive hook shape there, so definitely would not be surprised if we were to get a tornado to spin up here near Anson. Again, it's rotating pretty well there. Again, if you're in Anson, you need to be in your tornado safe spot immediately, because we're not going to know if one drops most likely either, because we don't have any storm chasers in this area. And also, the correlation coefficient is in a messy spot where we won't be able to see a debris signature. So once again, if you're just not tuning in, we do have a tornado warning for Anson, Colorado. and Linden, Colorado. And we also have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Eckley and Yuma, Colorado. And by the way, this is breaking. This is breaking news. As of half an hour ago, this storm produced softball-sized hail in Yuma. And as you can see from the historical radar data, I mean, that is just hardly surprising, honestly. So again, we have softball-sized hail. It's just insane what we're seeing today out of Colorado. I mean, this is one of the more intense outbreaks that Colorado's had in a long time. Again, we're talking hail up to softball size and damaging wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour. And then also the threat for a few strong tornadoes. So yeah. Again, I've been watching this hail core here for the past, hour and a half, and I mean, it just has not died. Alright, it has been so intense for so long. It's finally starting to die out. Still pretty large hail, but look at this. Look at this, okay? The first moment we got 70 dBz values continuously was at 9:03. For the next hour to an hour and a half, it has not, for an hour and a half, it has not dropped below 70 dBz, which is the longest I think I've ever seen a storm last that long for. And, several times it got like 78, even 79 dBz. I really thought we were going to break the 80 barrier. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, it really is. Again, softball-sized hail was reported out of Yuma. We had baseball-sized hail reported south of Otis. I mean, it's just insane. We had tennis ball-sized hail reported from, the same exact supercell northwest of Gary almost 3 hours ago. It's really been like 2 or 3 supercells so far that have caused all these massive problems. And they've just lasted so long. So again, this is continuing to rotate here off to the kind of along Highway 36 near Anton, Colorado. So if you're in this area, again, please take shelter immediately. This is a tornado warning for Anton and Linden, Colorado. And then again, we got our destructive severe thunderstorm warning as well, obviously, closer to the Eckley area as well as Yuma. Again, this storm is capable of producing damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour and hail up to softball-sized. That softball-sized hail is reported 1 mile south of Yuma, or tennis to softball-sized hail. So, they went with the high end there and said softball-sized hail. Which, I mean, it would not surprise me if we had some of these reports are just absolutely ridiculous. Like, hailed for 10 minutes. I just imagine having a hailstorm go on for 10 minutes with hail up to, at that time, baseball size. Just insane. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it probably looked like it had snowed there just a few minutes ago, but no, it was actually a hailstorm. It was not a late May snowstorm. But by the way, we do have a late May snowstorm, conveniently enough, going on up here. Just a couple of states away. Montana, Wyoming. We have winter storm warnings up for portions of those states, as a rare event in late May has sparked a few of these winter storm warnings for a few counties here. It's kind of a interesting situation where we have below average temperatures, we have this precipitation from the backside of this severe weather event, and all the ingredients were just barely in place enough to, promote winter storm conditions here. So winter storm warnings were issued in a very rare scenario here in late May for parts of Wyoming and Montana once again. And I mean, it's just rare to see something like that. It really is. So. While we're here, we might as well talk about the latest run of the NAM 3-kilometer model and what it's painting for severe weather over the next few days, right? So it was painting something like this, right, for right about now, right? They were painting some severe storms, some, tornadic storms here in Colorado, Nebraska, and then another cluster of storms back up closer to Minnesota and Iowa, and that's exactly what happened. They were almost spot on with that. So, the NAM3CAM is a pretty reliable model. But going into the overnight hours, we're talking about these bands of storms rolling through Nebraska, again, with that high threat for some destructive winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes. One or two of them may be strong. That'll kind of turn into one, big line of storms here that sweeps through parts of southern Iowa and brings a decently high tornado threat early tomorrow morning into the afternoon hours. But then the big-time tornado threat, where we're talking about the potential for some strong tornadoes, is actually going to come later in the day tomorrow, right? Tomorrow afternoon around 3 p.m., we see some of these discrete supercells popping off in Iowa. By 4 p.m., we're seeing more of the same. And if this actually is what happens, we could have a serious problem here, not only with some strong tornadoes, but eventually this forms into a more linear line of storms here, which could promote some high-end damaging wind threats, which is why we do have a moderate 45% hatched risk for damaging winds tomorrow. I mean, guys, just look at this. I mean, we're talking about the potential for a third derecho in the same week, if this actually does play out here, like the NAM3CAM is painting. And it's going to be a big one, right? We're talking about from Missouri back up into Wisconsin. I mean, we're talking about the big potential for some destructive, life-threatening winds there. Okay, so, again, we're going to have to be live several times tomorrow like we were today. I mean, it's just going to be an insane line of storms, you guys. It's really going to be quite crazy. Especially, I think, some of the hardest hit areas are going to be parts of kind of northwestern Illinois there. Davenport's definitely going to get hit pretty hard. Same thing with Galesburg, Macomb. Closer to Peoria, so I think tomorrow's definitely going to be pretty crazy. Definitely crazier than today's event, I would say, even. But again, today's still been pretty active. Our storm near Eckley, by the way, is still capable of producing baseball-sized hail once again. So, again, you need to be taking shelter if you are in this area. Baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts are associated with this storm still. And it is rotating quite a bit off to the northeast of Eckley as well. Got a pretty decent velocity couplet there. And our storm near Anton's kind of backed off a little bit with the rotation. But it is still tornado warned, so continue to be in your tornado safe spot there. But I do think whenever this tornado warning expires, they're probably not going to reissue it. But yeah, we do have that 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe weather in place for tomorrow's event. Once again, it's going to be for parts of northwest Illinois, northeast Missouri, and southeastern Iowa, where we are talking about a significant threat for widespread 80 to 90 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. Again, along a line extending all the way from northeastern Missouri back into southwestern Wisconsin. It's going to kind of ride into parts of northwestern Illinois here, kind of continuing, with that extreme damaging wind threat towards Peoria, and then after that it kind of diminishes as it continues to travel southeast. But again, the isolated threat for some damaging winds and large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado or two, could continue into more portions of, Illinois, and maybe as far out as Indiana, but I'm not sure about that. So we'll have to watch tomorrow's event very closely. I definitely think it's going to be, another one of these events where we're talking more localized for, like, the extreme threats, kind of like today's. Again, I mean, it's not a large area that we're talking about that has a moderate risk of severe weather for tomorrow, right? But we are talking about the cities of Davenport, Iowa, Galesburg, Illinois, Iowa City, Iowa, Ottumwa, Iowa, Centerville, Iowa. We got Macomb, Illinois. We've got Burlington, Iowa. Just kind of some of these, bigger cities out here in parts of southeast Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and then again, just a little sliver there of northeastern Missouri are included in that moderate risk for severe weather. So, again, it's going to be a big event tomorrow for the upper Mississippi Valley, for sure. And again, the main startup time for like the big damaging wind potential is going to be around 3 p.m. Same thing with the tornado threat. Well, the tornado threat's going to start up at 3 p.m. The big damaging wind potential is going to be about 7 to 8 p.m. And then it's going to kind of ride out until, even like Wednesday morning. Just kind of diminishing over time as it travels through Illinois there. So back to the current radar. Again, we have that tornado warning in northeastern Colorado right now for the Anson area. It has been condensed, so it no longer includes Linden. But again, Anson, Colorado, you are still under a tornado warning, so take cover immediately. That velocity couplet is right on top of you. So, again, you got to be taking shelter there. And then again, we still have our storm near Eckley, capable of producing hail up to baseball size. Holy cow. I mean, again, guys, just a massive hail core here. Absolutely gigantic. And it's been this way for so long. 77 dBz values are rare, and we've been seeing that consistently with this storm for the past hour and a half. I mean, normally you get that once or twice in like a big time hail-focused supercell. But, I mean, this one's just been rocking that for so long now. The only reason we're not getting more of those softball-sized hail reports is because of how rural this area is. If I had to guess. Anyway, so. We did just get a new destructive severe thunderstorm warning that continues for areas like Eckley, Ray, and even crossing the Nebraska border now into areas like Hagler. Again, make sure that you are taking shelter immediately over there. That is a destructive storm capable of producing baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Those are low-end tornado force winds, once again. And again, a little bit of rotation is trying to spin up there, actually, off to the northwest of Ray now, that we'll have to watch with that pocket of high winds here on the front edge of this thing. I mean, guys, we're talking about winds up to 85 miles per hour, half a degree into the atmosphere. So, again, the surface winds could easily be up to 70 miles per hour with this storm here. Again, we're also talking about baseball-sized hail. As you can see here by the source title, this storm has a history of destructive winds to 70 miles per hour, or 75 miles per hour, and hail in excess of baseball size. It's actually softball size, but that was a while ago. And also, there's no confirmation that's what that was. It's tennis ball to softball size, so. But yeah. The National Weather Service in Goodland, Kansas, once again, has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. For northeastern Yuma County and northeastern Colorado and western Dundee County and southwestern Nebraska. This is a destructive storm for Eckley, Colorado, and rural northeast Yuma County. This is a dangerous storm. Prepare immediately for large destructive hail capable of producing significant damage. People outside should move to shelter inside a strong building and stay away from windows. And the thunderstorm damage threat is destructive. It says radar indicated, but it might as well be confirmed because, again, we've confirmed this several times now. Even reports up to potentially as high as softball-sized hail. We also have reports of several power poles snapped from this storm here, south of Yuma, which is not good. That kind of, is some of the damage that you'll see, again, whenever you have 75-mile-per-hour damaging winds is, once again, several power poles snapped near the intersection of CR 33 and Highway 59. And once again, you can see right ahead, that was where our 75-mile-per-hour gusts was recorded. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. So if you live near any trees or power lines, again, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting underground because 75-mile-per-hour damaging winds are quite literally, once again, tornado force winds, hurricane force winds, however you want to put it. By the way, our tornado warning has now expired, but the storm is still rotating here to the south of Anton, so we may see this get reissued, but I will say they have issued a severe thunderstorm warning now for golf ball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and a possible tornado. So they may actually let that tornado warning go away. But again, if you're in this area, continue to stay indoors and away from windows, as this is still producing hail up to golf ball size, 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts, and it is still rotating a little bit. Again, our storm near Eckley just does not want to die, man. It's crazy. We could bring up our live look here from northwestern Iowa. That's actually a pretty good one. Forgot about it. You can see that storm there off in the distance. We're looking at a storm that is currently off to the east of Spirit Lake. Or sorry, we're actually looking west. But we're seeing quite a bit of lightning from this little camera here. Because these storms are just so electrified. We have a severe one near Algona in the general vicinity of our cyclone port here, capable of producing quarter-sized hail there near Sexton, Wesley, and Algona. So back over here to our destructive severe thunderstorm at the moment. Again, I do not like the way that that's rotating there near Robb. So, again, continue to be in your tornado safe spot there, as that is still a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Eckley and Ray. Once again, in northeastern Colorado right now. So, again, we are talking about severe weather from Colorado to Minnesota and everywhere in between at the moment. Bringing the threats for softball-sized hail, 75-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and a few tornadoes. Once again, we have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Colorado and Nebraska right now. So again, make sure you are taking shelter in Ray, Laird, Hagler, Eckley, Yuma. I mean, Yuma's good at this point. It's past you. Eckley is fine, but areas to the north of Eckley, again, you should be taking shelter as some baseball-sized hail is falling here. Very large hail. If you're in a mobile home, make sure you are evacuating and finding a more substantial shelter, because mobile homes are not going to do well with baseball-sized hail or 70-mile-per-hour winds. So you put those two threats together, and I mean, it's just not looking good for the mobile homes out here. Or if you're in like a car or something, you know. Let's see here. Our storms in Michigan are continuing, but only in like far eastern portions of Michigan at this point, like right along the Michigan-Canada border there, near Sarnia. Continuing to produce the isolated threat for some gusty winds and small hail, most likely. I'm just trying to focus on every storm that we have right now, no matter how small it is, really. We did actually have some damaging storms roll through Florida today. We had a storm that did produce 65 to 70 mile per hour winds. That had, I mean, it just caused quite a bit of destruction, really. It caused some tree damage, some power lines downed. Pretty big storm out here in southeastern Florida today. Again, I mean, Florida just gets smacked whenever we have this summertime pattern of storms every day. Summer is more active than people give it credit for. I mean, you know, everybody's talking about springtime, and I mean, we are still technically in spring, but we have summer-like heat out there, and we're still seeing events like this. And, I mean, again, if you take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, I mean, we are just so far above average right now for the historical temperatures. If it would like to work. Oh, wait, no, I'm dumb. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. No, I was about to do it again. We gotta go, here. It's late at night. Give me a break. But yeah, again, we had just an absolutely massive heat wave rolling through for parts of, especially, like, the far southern portions of the United States, but everywhere, you know, to the east of the Great Plains is experiencing some extreme heat right now, really. I mean, you know, we're talking everywhere from New Mexico to Maine with above average temperatures. So, very interesting, I would say. Very interesting indeed. I tried to turn it off by going to that again. We're continuing to see that frequent lightning there in the northwestern Iowa cam, by the way. Even though the storm's already passed there, you can still see the lightning off in the distance. Even though it's not even facing the right way, but you can see it on the edge of the cam there, where it's looking more towards where the storms actually are. So again, this continues to rotate off to the southeast of Anton, near Arikari. So again, we'll continue to watch this, see if this gets a tornado warning reissued for it. But again, right now it is just a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, very impressive area of inflow. All right, we've got a very impressive velocity couplet. I mean, I feel like they are probably going to issue another tornado warning for this relatively soon here. Pretty shortly, if I had to guess. You might want to start watching some of these storms near North Platte to develop a tornado threat. If any one of them becomes discrete enough, the tornado threat with them is going to be very high. Very high indeed. We have a couple of light rotators out there. This one near Wallace is trying to do something, it looks like. It's got that nice little bean shape to it. But yeah. Okay, so here's something we'll have to watch. Is in 2 radar scans, this went from quite literally nothing to already maybe producing, some decent rainfall there. I think that in this kind of environment, I mean, this little dot of convection even, given that it's in a very discrete region here, where we don't have any other storms, this could definitely pop off. So I'm going to watch this as it continues to move off to the north. Because I know it's just a little shower out there right now, a little itty-bitty sprinkle, but even that is going to be able to cause some problems here if it takes advantage of this environment. I mean, it's discrete, and it's got a while to grow before it hits some more big storms. So we're going to have to watch this one. This could be one of our ones that develops a tornado threat. And I know it's crazy to say that this early in its lifespan, but I don't like the look of this. Again, this is just now popping off, or popping up, I should say. It's not really popping off at all, but it's popping up northwest of Benkelman. Just an itty-bitty shower here, 33 dBZs. But I'm telling you guys, I don't like the look of this. Because of the environment that it's in being so explosive, it really has the potential to do anything if it becomes discrete enough. I mean, not anything, but it has the potential to do quite a bit, obviously. So, and we'll have to watch that there. At the very least, this is definitely going to turn into some sort of storm. I can almost guarantee you that. If it doesn't, you can strip my Davis Toes weather badge away. It really all just depends on how, if we get any other convection to roll through this region, it could interfere with this one's progress, but I definitely do think this is going to turn into a storm if that doesn't happen, and a pretty intense one at that, most likely. So, this is kind of moving off to the northeast, and, even with this new radar scan, you can already see it getting some of those yellowish colors, 34 dBZs there. So again, we got some light to moderate rainfall here. This is going to be heading off towards Winetta, Imperial, eventually Wallace and Elsie, if it lasts long enough. Again, I know it's crazy to be focusing on this whenever we have this in the distance, but I'm telling you guys, this is going to be able to develop some sort of tornado potential in this kind of environment if it becomes discrete enough. While this is just a massive cluster of storms doing some huge hail and destructive winds, which obviously are still big problems. But overall, I feel like the tornado threat with this is definitely, as ridiculous as it is to say, the tornado threat with this is probably lower than this. just because this one, it's got so many storms trying to bite into it here, trying to suck out its energy, while this is all alone. It can do pretty much whatever it wants. So again, we'll have to watch it for sure. I know, again, it's a little crazy to be, focusing on a little itty bitty rain shower like this, but it's not like that's all we're going to talk about, right? We're going to obviously continue to talk about this storm off to the west of it, the other storms that we have as well. I just think that this is going to be, a big-time hailer and wind event for a lot of people. And, again, it's a massive storm, right? Don't get me wrong, but I think the tornado threat with it is pretty much gone. It never did anything. It had its chances to do something. It never decided to, so it passed up its opportunity to graduate from supercell school and become an official tornado producer. So again, this is going to be heading off to the north and the east here, towards Winetta. And if you're just now tuning in, this is the rain shower evolution stage here. If you're wondering why we're focused in on, this itty-bitty sprinkle, just, play back the past few minutes of the stream and you'll see why. I don't want to explain it again. I've already made myself look silly enough, but I really do think this is going to do something. I think at the very least, again, this is going to become a storm. So, now it's going to be located up here. Near Off, or Og, however you pronounce that. And then our big boy, Supercell over here, is continuing to produce that very large hail and destructive wind threat near Eckley and Ray. See, look at how interesting this is. We've been talking about how it's just one rain shower, but over the past few scans, it's become more evident that it's really a group of rain showers here. Again, we're going to watch this. I think that this might get swallowed up by our supercell over here, but if that doesn't happen, again, the tornado threat with this could become a little bit higher than it is now, obviously. I mean, the tornado threat with it now is 0. Speaking of tornadoes, we have a tornado warning now. This was issued 3 minutes ago, but I did not know this because I don't have my alert sounds on because it's really late at night and I don't want to freak anybody out. But we have a tornado warning. Once again, I did say this would probably get reissued, and it has now been for the Cope area. This is actually rotating more impressively than it was earlier even. We may have to switch our focus back over to this instead of the rain shower hunt, rain shower chase on radar. So, again, this is moving off to the east here, towards areas like Willowdale, Arikari, and Cope. You guys should be taking shelter now. For sure. For certainty. If that makes sense. I don't even know if it does or not. So again, areas along Highway 36 in between Anson and Cope need to be taking shelter. Again, this is a very dangerous storm capable of producing a tornado here. And it is also capable of producing the threats of 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and golf ball-sized hail, as well as, again, a possible tornado here. So take shelter now. Wow. Our hail core has kind of switched places here. Originally, it, was kind of deciding to be up here, but it's kind of popped back off here near Brad Arnold's area. So Brad Arnold, hopefully he's staying safe out there. Obviously, if you don't know, Brandon Kopic got his windshield absolutely wrecked today by a big hailstorm. And by the way, he's still out there chasing after that. I mean, he's just insane. Yeah, that was just crazy earlier, dude. Alright, our rain showers are continuing to convect over here. Yeah, like I said, though, I think this supercell might actually swallow these, so I think our concern about this might have been a little unwarranted. But again, I still do think this is going to definitely turn into a storm at the very least here. But so I don't think it's going to be as big as I was originally thinking, so we can kind of stop focusing solely on that. So back over here to our storm over Highway 36 at the moment, and it's continuing to rotate there off to the northwest of Cope. Right now, heading for the Willowdale area. Again, this is a rotating supercell capable of producing a tornado. So take shelter now. Again, we've also got our big beefy supercell here near Ray in Colorado. This is in far northeastern Colorado, obviously. Again, very large hail associated with this storm, up to baseball size, and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So take cover now. And Hagler, Ray, and Laird. So yeah, look out for that. But again, continuing to watch our rain shower line here convect. Again, I do think it's going to get swallowed by our big supercell back here. So that's good. Again, this really did have the potential to become more discreet and become a supercell of sorts. I mean, you can see what I was talking about, though. I mean, it just popped up so fast. It was a little concerning. But it never ended up really doing anything, so. What was it that I said? You could strip my Davis's weather badge away? Well, there you go. I'm pretty sure that was I only said that, though, if this doesn't even turn into a storm, and it still has time to do that, so actually, never mind. Give me my badge back. Oh my gosh. 82 dBZs. Okay, this is breaking. This is the largest dBZ reading I've seen on a storm ever. This is an 82 dBZ storm. This storm is currently producing destructive hail up to softball size, up to grapefruit size. This is just a massive storm. Again, this is the highest dBZ reading I've ever seen. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Holy cow. Again, I mean, if you're in this area, you really got to get to your tornado safe spot right now. Underground, away from windows, interior room, whatever. I mean, I just cannot believe it. 82 dBZs. It's not even like the radar site's that far away. This was just actually some huge catastrophic hail falling there. And it still is. We're still talking about dBZ values up to 79. Holy cow, 82 though. I cannot believe that. They did the next radar scan within the next minute though, so obviously they were concerned about it too. Oh my gosh, that was insane. I've never seen that, ever. I've been doing forecasting now for like 14 months. I've never seen an 82 dBZ storm in my entire life. That is actually ridiculous. That is just insane. For reference, the scale maxes out at 85. So if we were 3 dBZs higher, this would literally be breaking reflectivity. Another way to look at it is, whenever you see gray, that's your light rain. A lot of people are familiar with greens and yellows. That's your normal steady rainfall. Then you got your oranges and reds, your heavy rain. Then you got your pink. Now, your pink is where you got, this really, really bad storm. You get a big hailer coming in. Then you got your blue, which is something that if you're in, you'll probably be in once or twice in your lifetime. We're talking bigger than that. Again, we were talking tan. 82 dBZs. And I've never seen that in my life. I've paid close attention to almost every storm that we've had over the past year. A lot of people that know me in real life can vouch for that too. I have been just tracking every storm there's been, and I have never seen an 82 dBZ storm. Never. Not in my entire life. Even before I was doing weather, I cannot tell you a single time I've seen that. So, 14 years. I'm genuinely shocked. I cannot believe that. Whenever I saw the tan, I was like, oh no. I thought it was going to be like 80 dBZs. But there's a big difference between 80 and 82 whenever you're talking hail that big. I mean, just look at these vertically integrated liquid signatures, man. This entire, light gray area is where it's maxed out the scale. It's just absolutely insane, dude. This is crazy. I don't even know how that's possible, I'm gonna be honest. Again, I've really never seen anything like that in my entire life. Holy cow, dude. It's just insane. Actually ridiculous. Dude, that's crazy. Already Rue. I'm seeing somebody else talk about this on social media. I was just scrolling on YouTube. I saw somebody post this on their community tab. 82 dBZs. Seriously, that is just ridiculous. Alright, so back to our live coverage here. Sorry, I was taking a break there for a minute. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have got very scary rotation now associated with our storm approaching Cope. Again, this is a tornado warning. You need to take cover right now. And now our destructive severe thunderstorm is also producing some very high life-threatening winds, up to 100 miles per hour, half a degree into the atmosphere. So we may see this get upgraded to 80 mile per hour damaging winds, quite possibly. And oh my goodness, dude, that hail threat is just insanely high, dude. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Seriously. 70 dBZs being widespread across that big an area is extremely rare. And I mean, if you're in this hailstorm, I mean, this is a once-per-lifetime thing. This is very, very massive. It's absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now, man. It's just crazy. Okay, so yeah, we gotta watch this now. Very intense rotation. The velocities are kind of glitched out, which is how I can tell. Obviously, we don't have winds that look like this on radar, so it's obviously a glitch, which sometimes happens whenever we've got velocities intensifying so rapidly. Wow. Just wow, dude. Also, I'd like to point out this storm's starting to develop a hook echo near Ray. We'll have to watch that, see if that starts rotating. But again, our main focus is our tornado-warned storm right now. Again, this is a very dangerous storm here, capable of producing a tornado. And there's your velocity couplet, just absolutely insanely high winds here at the very least. Again, we're going to have to watch that really closely. Things are glitching out, so it's hard to tell what's really going on. And also, these winds are getting so much more intense still. Again, we're talking winds over 100 miles per hour now, half a degree into the atmosphere. So, we're talking at the surface still, 80 mile per hour winds at least, I'd say, in that spot. Maybe as high as 90. Who knows? I mean, this storm is just failing to not make me amazed every second that it exists. I mean, every single radar scan, it's doing something new that I've never seen before. It's ridiculous. Holy cow, dude. Just insane. I cannot believe that still. 82 DBZs. That's going to be a trending thing, I think, pretty soon on big social media platforms from the WX community. I mean, it's not going to be like a big-time trend everywhere that everybody hears about, but like a thing that goes around in the WX community. That's crazy. They did just issue a new tornado warning, by the way. So the National Weather Service has now issued a tornado warning for Laird and Hagler along the Colorado-Nebraska border. I mentioned this storm was starting to rotate, and there you go. This is now a tornado warning. Take cover immediately. You should have already been in your safe spot here, but now you really gotta go. You gotta go. As well as Sanborn. I think this storm is just kind of to the point where, it's like, why not slap a tornado warning on here? And wow. I mean, I just cannot believe how intense this storm is. Okay, we gotta watch this now. This is much more concerning than the other rotation even. Okay. Sorry. I was looking up something. Again, this is a tornado warning now. We have a possible tornado on the ground here, south of Ray, Colorado. Obviously, there's like the omega famous Ray, Colorado tornado. Very photogenic wedge tornado. I mean, all the areas that have historically gotten hit, been getting hit in 2024. It's weird. Is that a conspiracy theory? We'll find out, I guess. Did I just start something? Okay. Again, in addition to a possible tornado, this storm is also producing damaging winds over 100 miles per hour, half a degree into the atmosphere, so the surface winds could easily be up to 80 miles per hour with this, ahead of the line east of Ray. Just absolutely insane here, guys. So again, this is pretty concerning. We're going to have to watch this now as this heads off to the east, just crossed over Highway 385. Now heading for areas to the south of Laird, Sanborn, and eventually all the way out towards Hagler. Keep mispronouncing that. This is going to go right for Hagler, guys. This could be bad. I'll have to watch this pretty closely here. But then again, this is coming from the same guy that talked about that rain shower 10 minutes ago, but we just won't talk about that. Here's the thing. I did mention, you know, if that becomes discrete, that could be dangerous, and it didn't become discrete, okay? So technically I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't right either. That's for sure. Alright. Let's see what the velocities look like with this new scan. Again, your rotation will be located somewhere in there now. It may be less intense. It looks like the hook angle's kind of gone, but that just could be because of it becoming rain-wrapped. Could be an HP supercell here. I mean, it is an HP supercell. I mean, can you not tell by the amount of hail that's falling? But anyway. Waiting for this velocity update here. Again, Storm Chaser Brad Arnold is up in Ray right now. He'll probably head down to the south to see this storm here. Or he may actually try and get in position for tomorrow's event. I don't know, that's a long drive. I don't know if he's going to do that or not. I mean, he could chase the storm all the way there, but then he's up for like 50 hours. Okay, so this continues to be a very concerning velocity couplet here. Yeah, we gotta watch this, guys. Again, we have a possible tornado here to the south of Ray, Colorado. And then our storm back here, that's tornado warning, is still pretty concerning as well, actually. Okay, at this point, the more concerning one is definitely our one here to the south of Ray. Again, this is why they added the 10% hatch risk, is because we were worried about the potential for a strong tornado like this. So, we're going to watch that there again. That is your velocity couplet. It's heading off to the east, northeast, towards Sanborn, and Laird, as well as Hagler. So again, take cover now if you're in this tornado warning here. Actually, this is kind of heading a little bit east-southeast, not east-northeast. So, you know, again, areas like Hagler, I mean, this is coming in. You really got to look out for this here, guys. This is a pretty serious situation. Again, this is a possible tornado on the ground here near southeast of Ray, Colorado. There's just no confirmation of that yet, though. But it could be on the ground at any minute. So, again, make sure you are taking cover right now. And now we have another tornado warning. That's on the Iowa-Nebraska border. Areas like Grabble, Loveland, and Honey Creek are included in that. This is off to the southeast of Fort Calhoun. We do have some rotation here. It's on the weaker side of things, but it is there. So make sure that you are taking shelter immediately here on the lowest floor of the building, away from windows, and in an interior room. This is actually issued about 4 minutes ago. I'm a little late to the party here, aren't I? Again, I don't want my alert sounds on because I don't want to freak anybody out in the house. I'll turn them on very quietly. Again, this is going to be crossing over Interstate 29 very soon, so again, take shelter now. Just crossed over Highway 75 near Fort Calhoun, to the south of Fort Calhoun, actually. Again, it's broad rotation, but, well, I mean, it's not broad rotation, but it's not tight rotation either. Oh my gosh, what in the world? What is happening up here? Okay, let's focus on our velocity couplet, though. Again, this continues to be a pretty concerning storm here. I will say the velocity couplet looks a little bit weaker, though. I'll say that much. And still very intense, but not quite as intense. And again, this storm, I mean, it's just doing some insane stuff. Remember earlier how we talked about how the velocities can glitch out whenever they're really insane? I think that's an example of what's happening here. Or this is an example of that, rather. But you can see we got still, again, damaging winds up to 100 miles per hour, half a degree into the atmosphere. So the surface level winds here could be, 70 miles per hour, quite possibly. I think this radar is just very messy whenever you get too far out. I mean, all radars are, obviously, but this one in particular seems like it's not doing a great job with a lot of these storms up here. But, Okay, so if you're just now tuning in, we have been live for over an hour now. covering this severe weather outbreak in northeastern Colorado. Yeah, late stream airborne for sure. Conditions did warrant, though. I mean, we got 3 tornado warnings. We got a PDS, severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, it's 11:20 here as well. We've got a high-end tornado watch. We now got a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes. I mean, all the conditions that I'm looking for a long stream, they're in place. So here we are. Again, your velocity couple will be located somewhere in there now, off to the south of Laird, far south of Laird. Okay, the velocity couplet's gone at this point, but continue to stay in your tornado safe spot because it could redevelop. And then once again, I mean, we've still got some extreme damaging winds here. Again, we're talking about winds close to 100 miles per hour, half degree into the atmosphere here. So, again, take cover now. This storm is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds and baseball-sized hail and a possible tornado, and it also has a tornado warning associated with it. So, seek shelter immediately. And again, you guys, we're just talking about absolutely just gorilla hail with this storm. It's looks like it's backed off several times, but it never truly has. I mean, it's just been insane for the past few hours now. It's been doing 70 DBZs consistently, pretty much. Let's load this up. So this is 75 scans ago. This is almost 3 hours ago. I want you guys to watch this. All right. At this point, it was already doing some large to very large hail. But watch this. I mean, I have just never seen anything like that. It just progressed, and it's still an insanely impressive storm. Capable of producing hail up to baseball size, once again. Again, the highest it's gotten reported is softball size, but that wasn't even the biggest of it. The biggest point of it, rather. The biggest point of it was an open field, though, so we're not going to get any reports out of there, most likely. But, again, 82 DBZs earlier, the highest I've ever seen. We're talking tan colors there, south of Highway 34. That was about 20 minutes ago now. But, man, I still cannot get over that. Just absolutely insane stuff. Alright. I mean, this is just one heck of a supercell, guys. It really has been... I mean, we were talking about this at like 4 in the afternoon, weren't we? Or am I crazy? I feel like we were. And it's the same supercell. I know it was, because I know we've been tracking it for so long. I don't remember... Actually, the stream was at like 7 or 8, but I know it was going for a few hours before that. So, this supercell just does not want to die, ever. People make like those radar time-lapse supercell videos. If this produces a long tornado, it's going to be... or a long track tornado. People will make those videos for it, and it's going to be such a long video, even though it's sped up like 100 times. Because this thing has been here for so long. Again, I mean, it's just ridiculous what we're seeing right now, guys. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for parts of Iowa and Nebraska. It's a considerable one. It's for the city of Omaha. Quarter-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and it is confirmed. A 69-mile-per-hour wind gust was recorded 9 minutes ago, so if you're in this area, make sure that you are getting in underground, indoors, away from windows. As you can see, this says this is a dangerous situation. These storms... What did that say? These storms could be... That's bad grammar. These storms could be producing wind damage across the warned area. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy building or a sturdy structure. Stay away from windows. Again, underground preferably, or at the very least on the lowest floor of a building here if you are in Omaha, Nebraska. And again, we do have a tornado warning with this storm in the north of it. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning now. Not sure where that's at, 'cause that did not pop up at the bottom of the list like it's supposed to. So that's just great. I think it might be in Minnesota, though. Again, we still have our tornado warning here for areas along Interstate 29 in between Missouri Valley and Council Bluffs, Iowa. So, again, seek shelter there, obviously. You should be seeking shelter anywhere in that whole big severe thunderstorm warning, because again, okay, this is a big update. The storm is now warned for 80-mile-per-hour winds. That's what I was saying it might be. These are destructive storms for rural Yuma and Dundee counties. These are bringing the threat for hurricane-force winds, so take cover now. Very dangerous storm. Again, I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous what we're seeing today. Are we going to end up seeing another derecho from... I mean, it's just one supercell. It's not big enough to be considered a derecho, but... This is a very large, beefy supercell. I mean, we're talking about, you know, like 30 miles wide, even, of one supercell. It's just ridiculous, man. Over 30 miles wide, even, I would say. Again, we were live for like an hour and a half earlier today, covering this one supercell pretty much the exact same way that we are right now. Let me kind of pull up something to show you guys. I mean, why would I pull it up if I wasn't going to show you guys it? That was stupid to say. Anyway. Severe thunderstorm warning. This is a life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now. This was as of 1 minute ago here. Let me kind of pull up something. Forgot to mute myself. This is for the threat of 80-mile-per-hour winds and 2-inch in diameter hail. Eckley, Ray, Laird, Hagler, Parks. Take cover now. We did just get another new severe thunderstorm warning. That puts us up to 17 now for parts of Washington County, Colorado. That's for the other supercell. Again, we're really just watching like 2 supercells, and we have been for like the past 8 hours, and they're the same ones. Anyway. Just absolutely ridiculous what we're seeing today, guys. This is actually insane, and tomorrow's going to be even crazier, I can already tell. The models are not looking good for tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be blunt. New severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Minnesota. Yeah, I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. Tomorrow is looking pretty dangerous for parts of Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri, once again. Another new severe thunderstorm warning that puts us up to 18 now for parts of Nebraska, Lincoln County. No, that is not the new one. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh my gosh, another one. 19. It's for parts of Colorado, Kit Carson, Yuma, and Washington counties. Boy, Kit Carson, Colorado. I have... it's weird. I don't have an eidetic memory by any means, but for certain random things I do... I remember the first stream I ever did, one of the counties I listed off was Kit Carson, Colorado. That was like one of the first things I ever said on my first stream ever. And I do not recommend watching that stream. It was terrible. But man, does that bring back memories. It's so weird. Again, I have like a perfect memory for weird things, but then I can't remember really important things. Like, I remember my Minecraft coordinates to a base I had like 3 years ago, but I don't remember, you know, like, my friend's birthday. It's bad. But yeah, as I was saying earlier before I got so rudely interrupted by all these severe thunderstorm warnings, North Platte, Nebraska, 1 inch in diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Make sure they are moving indoors immediately there. Pretty big storm rolling through. Again, that is now a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, mainly for the threats of large hail and damaging winds up to 1 inch and 60 miles per hour, respectively. So again, there's your pocket of high winds. They're near Laird right now. Again, potentially up to 80 miles per hour at the surface. I think they put the tag on this warning a little late, though. Still winds over 90 miles per hour, half degree in the atmosphere, though, so it could still be up to 80. New severe thunderstorm warning that puts us up to 19 now. It's for parts of Nebraska there. That is for the Burwell area, so if you're in that area, make sure you move indoors immediately. Quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds are the main threats with that storm there. So look out for that. Alright, these storms are finally sweeping into western Nebraska. and western Kansas. All right, the tornado warning has been removed for this storm, but again, this is still a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Might as well treat it like a tornado warning because those are tornado force winds. And our other tornado warning down here was let to expire. Actually, that's what happened to this one too, I think. It didn't get removed, it just got expired. Or it was let to expire, I should say. So the only tornado warning we have left is up here in Iowa, near Honey Creek in Ascot. So again, remain in your tornado safe spot up here. I mean, guys, these supercells are just going to continue. Alright. I can't be live all night. I really can't. Alright, I gotta go to bed at some point. Gotta take care of myself at least a little bit. So, we're gonna end off the live stream here. I'm sure everybody in my house can probably hear me too. I'm sure I'm being obnoxiously loud. So, we're gonna end off the live stream here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Very eventful. It's just been crazy, guys. And again, we're gonna be here multiple times tomorrow live as well. Probably not this late, I'll admit, but I mean, you know, whenever conditions warrant, you know, I'll be here. So, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.